Welcome to the Deep Seek Diaries. Today, we're really diving into something fascinating. It's about winning the lottery.
Which is definitely something a lot of people dream about.
Exactly, but we're not looking at, statistics or anything like that. We're exploring something different. Lottery affirmations and the metaphysics of winning.
Right.
So our mission here is to kind of unpack this idea that maybe your thoughts, your feelings, they might actually influence things in the real world. Specifically, lottery wins.
Mm-hmm.
We'll look at the principles behind it, hear about a pretty amazing real-world case, learn some practical ways people actually do this, and look at the books that sort of underpin the whole approach.
That's right. And the sources we've looked at offer this, unique perspective on luck.
Yeah.
Suggesting it's maybe less about just random chance, and more about getting yourself aligned internally. Yeah. These metaphysical teachings, they often suggest that cultivating this winner's mindset inside yourself is really the crucial first step. Before you see the win on the outside, we'll pull out the core ideas, try to get to the why behind it all.
Okay, let's dig in. So these lottery affirmations, our sources say they're rooted in some core metaphysical ideas. The first one that pops up a lot is the law of attraction.
Right. And what's really interesting here is that core idea, like, attracts like.
Okay.
But it's not just, wishful thinking according to these sources. It's about really maintaining the mindset of a winner.
Yeah.
To attract winning, experiences.
So it's more active than just wishing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The sources really stress that just repeating words, that isn't enough. You have to actually evoke the positive emotions of already having what you want.
Feel it first.
Exactly. One guide puts it like this. You need to feel exactly what you would feel to be a lottery winner while you're saying the affirmation. The idea is you're trying to emit the frequency of a winner.
Yeah.
So the universe, in this view, it doesn't really have a choice. Supposedly, it has to deliver once you believe and feel that winning is possible because you're vibrating at that level.
Embodying the outcome, pre-living it almost. That's quite a specific instruction. So what's the next big piece of this puzzle, according to the sources?
Another really key principle is harnessing the power of your subconscious mind.
Ah, okay. I've heard about this in other contexts.
Yeah, classic success teachers, people like Napoleon Hill, Joseph Murphy, they taught that the subconscious, it basically acts on whatever beliefs you impress upon it, especially if you do it with feeling and, crucially, repetition.
Right. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich was mentioned, wasn't it? What specific method does that classic talk about?
Hill's book, back from 1937, describes this method where you vividly imagine the exact amount of money you desire.
Specifics matter.
Very much so. And then you see yourself already in possession of that money. You repeat this mental picture every day with faith.
So persistent visualization.
Exactly. Through that persistence, the idea supposedly sinks into the subconscious. And then the subconscious gets to work manifesting it in your reality. Claude M. Bristol, he wrote The Magic of Believing. He echoed this too. He said, repetition of the same affirmations leads to belief. And once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin to happen. It's really about reprogramming your deep mind.
Okay, that makes a certain kind of sense. If your internal reality shifts, the external might follow. What about the words themselves, though, just speaking them?
Well, our sources explain that spoken words are seen as having creative power in a lot of these metaphysical traditions.
Creative power.
Yeah. Like New Thought authors taught that every word that comes out of your mouth is creative and will eventually return to you in the form of events and circumstances.
Wow, okay.
So in this context, when you're persistently saying positive things about winning, it's not just talk, it's acting like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
You're speaking it into existence, basically.
That's the idea. Practitioners say you are creating your own LUCK through the power of your spoken word and positive expectation. Some even redefine luck.
Oh, yeah. How so?
As an acronym, living under cosmic knowledge.
Living under cosmic knowledge. Yeah. Interesting. Implying that understanding these laws gives you an edge.
Precisely. That's the implication.
Okay, this is getting really interesting. So if our thoughts, feelings, words have this power, what does that mean for the universe itself? How does it fit in?
The underlying idea, metaphysically speaking, is that the universe is abundant. And it's responsive to human intention.
Okay.
Wallace D. Wattles, he wrote The Science of Getting Rich way back in 1910. He explained, you need to form a really clear mental image of what you want.
That clarity again?
Yes, and then hold that vision with faith and purpose because, he argued, The formless creative substance of the universe, this sort of raw potential, will respond. It'll start moving circumstances around to make your vision real.
So the universe is like workable material.
In this view, yes. Abundant and responsive to focus, thought, and feeling.
Okay, fascinating stuff. Before we go any further, just a quick reminder for everyone listening. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like the video if you're finding this valuable. This is the Deep Seek Diaries, and you can find us on the major social platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We've linked all the resources we're talking about today. Books, websites, all that in the description section. And please do check out our terms and conditions when you get a chance. Okay, let's get back into it.
Right, so we've got these principles: law of attraction, subconscious mind, power of words, responsive universe. How do people actually use affirmations effectively day to day? The sources stress that it's really important to frame them in a way that feels believable to you.
Right. So you can't just jump to, I will win the Powerball tomorrow, if deep down you're thinking, yeah, right. That creates conflict.
Exactly that. Joseph Murphy, he advised that your affirmation succeeds best when it is specific and when it does not produce a mental conflict.
No mental conflict.
Right. So you need to choose phrases that inspire you, yes, but that also feel, well, possible, at least somewhat possible to your current belief system.
So start smaller, maybe, or focus on deserving.
Many teachers suggest exactly that. Start with feeling worthy, deserving of good things, and then gradually build up that faith towards the bigger goal. The main thing is removing that internal resistance.
Okay, removing internal resistance. How do people do that practically, beyond just the words?
Well, this is where actions come in to support the mindset. Some practitioners, for instance, make a point of regularly buying a lottery ticket.
But not because they think it improves their statistical odds.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Purely symbolic. It's to reinforce their mental acceptance that, yes, a win can happen through this channel. It stops the subconscious from whispering, but you don't even play, so how can you win?
Aligning actions with the belief.
Precisely. The whole goal is to get your mindset completely aligned with the reality you want. To, as they say, get into the vibration of being a winner.
That phrase again, vibration, feeling like a winner now.
Yes. To create a new self-image, one that already have the wealth you desire.
And I imagine visualization plays a big role alongside the verbal stuff.
Absolutely. They often go hand in hand. Many of the really compelling success stories involve very vivid visualization of the win.
Like who? Any specific examples?
Well, our sources highlight a really striking one. Cynthia Stafford.
Okay, tell us about her. This sounds like where the theory meets reality.
Right. So Cynthia Stafford reportedly manifested a 112 million jackpot back in 2007. And she said it came after 3 years of really focused spiritual practice.
3 years, that's dedication.
It really is. She described her process quite clearly. Writing down her intention, making a vision board.
Vision board, okay.
Repeating affirmations every day. And crucially, frequently visualizing herself holding one of those giant lottery checks.
The big novelty ones.
Yeah, with the exact winning amount written on it. And while doing this, she focused on feeling all the emotions of that experience as if it were happening right then.
Feeling it is real.
That was key for her. She credited her win entirely to these techniques. She learned them, she said, from books like Murphy's The Power of the Subconscious Mind, and combined it with just unwavering persistence.
Wow.
Her story really highlights two things. Patience, obviously.
3 years, yeah.
And consistency. Daily mental practice. She apparently said she had to train like an athlete to stay aligned with her wish fulfilled. But eventually, the claim is, her outer reality matched her inner vision.
That's a powerful story. It really illustrates the commitment involved. So if we were to summarize the framework for someone listening, what are the core steps?
Okay, in a nutshell, the metaphysical framework involves 1, set a really clear, specific intention. 2, believe wholeheartedly that it's possible.
That belief piece seems critical.
It is. 3, diligently maintain a high vibration emotional state, basically. Feel good, feel grateful, feel as if it's already yours.
Okay.
And this is supported by daily routines, spoken or written affirmations, creative visualization, gratitude practices, and just generally expecting good things to happen.
Positive expectancy.
Yes. By doing all this consistently, you're supposedly tapping into these spiritual laws that then attract the corresponding results. Cultivating that winner's mindset inside is seen as the absolute first essential step to getting the win on the outside.
Got it. So let's get even more practical. What do some of these affirmations actually sound like? Any examples from the sources?
Yeah, absolutely. Our sources give quite a few examples people use. Things like, every dollar I play comes back multiplied.
Okay, positive return.
Or, winning the lottery is my destiny.
That's a strong one.
Mm-hmm. The universe wants me to be rich.
Affirming universal support.
I am a magnet for winning tickets.
Magnetism, yeah.
Or even something like, I have always known that I would be a lottery winner. Kind of claiming it as a pre-existing fact in your mind.
Interesting. So for someone wanting to try this, what's the step-by-step guide on actually using these? How often? When?
Consistency and emotion, those are the two watchwords. The recommendation is usually to repeat your chosen phrases daily. Some people do it multiple times a day.
Morning, noon, night.
Could be. Or write them down over and over. But the goal isn't just robotic repetition. It's about generating genuine excitement, genuine gratitude for the win you're calling in, as if it's already on its way.
So charge it with feeling.
Exactly. You might say them during a morning meditation, maybe looking in the mirror, or even just when a doubt pops into your head, consciously replace the doubt with the affirmation.
Active thought replacement.
Yes. Over time, the idea is this practice shifts your core mindset. You move from just hoping you'll win to kind of knowing on some level that you will.
That inner conviction again.
Right. Florence Scovel Shinn, who was a real pioneer of affirmations back in the day, she taught that your spoken word, combined with belief, can open these invisible doors of supply.
Invisible doors.
Yeah. She famously used affirmations like, I give thanks that the millions which are mine by divine right now pour in and pile up unto grace in perfect ways.
Wow.
So lottery affirmations, in that same vein, are aimed at opening the way for your own divine right to abundance, however you conceive that.
Really fascinating perspective. Hope you're enjoying this exploration. Just another quick reminder, please do subscribe to the Deep Seek Diaries and like this video if you haven't already. Helps us out a lot. And don't forget, you can find us across social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, even Twitter. All the resources we're mentioning today are linked down in the description for you.
And one more practical tip that often comes up. It's helpful to mix general prosperity affirmations in with the lottery-specific ones.
Oh, okay. Why's that?
Well, it helps cultivate an overall abundance mindset. So you're not just narrowly fixated on this one single outcome. The lottery win.
Broadens the focus, reduces desperation, maybe.
Exactly. Reduces attachment. So you might use phrases like, money flows to me easily, or I am open to unexpected windfalls. Shinn had another great one. Unexpected doors fly open. Unexpected channels are free. Endless avalanches of abundance are poured out upon me.
Endless avalanches. I like that image.
Right. So these broader affirmations complement the lottery ones. They help keep your general vibe, your overall feeling state, high and positive. And according to these metaphysical laws, that makes you more of a magnet for big wins in general, including the lottery. It's about becoming prosperous-minded overall.
That makes a lot of sense. Cultivating abundance generally, not just chasing one specific thing. Okay, for listeners who really want to go deeper now, who want to read the source material themselves, our sources pointed to some really key influential books, right?
Yes, absolutely. These are sort of the foundational texts that explain these principles in much greater detail. They're classics in this field.
Okay, let's list them out.
All right. First, there's Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill from 1937, a real cornerstone text for developing that wealth mindset and positive expectation. It's where that famous line comes from. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve.
A true classic.
Then, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy, 1963. We mentioned him. This book directly inspired people like Cynthia Stafford. It's very practical, focuses on mind conditioning and using specific conflict-free affirmations.
Right, the one Stafford used.
The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles, 1910, an early law of attraction book explaining how holding that clear mental picture with faith attracts wealth.
A foundational text.
The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn from 1925. Really seminal work on using spiritual affirmations for prosperity. It's full of powerful declarations and stories.
We heard some of her words earlier.
The Magic of Believing by Claude M. Bristol, 1948. A very practical guide focusing just on the power of belief itself, stressing how repetition and conviction make things happen.
Belief as the engine.
Then more recently, The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, 2006. That was the huge bestseller that really brought the law of attraction back into the mainstream with its Ask, Believe, Receive formula. Lots of focus on gratitude and visualization.
Hugely popular, yeah.
And finally, Money and the Law of Attraction by Esther and Jerry Hicks from 2008. This one's really comprehensive, focuses specifically on getting into vibrational alignment for financial abundance, tackling limiting beliefs, and cultivating that positive wealth vibe.
Wow, quite a reading list there for anyone interested. So after covering all this ground, what's the big takeaway? What does this all mean at the end of the day?
Well, this deep dive into lottery affirmations, it really seems to bridge practical mindset techniques with a kind of spiritual faith in abundance.
Mindset meets metaphysics.
Pretty much. The core idea isn't really about magically defying odds through wishing. It's more about putting yourself into the optimal mental and emotional state, the right internal alignment to attract or receive a big win.
So it's about optimizing yourself for luck.
In a way, yes. The common thread in all these teachings, whether you call it faith, positive thinking, the law of attraction, is this idea that you create your reality from the inside out. It starts within.
It's certainly a compelling idea. Adopting these empowering beliefs like, I am a lucky winner, or I am destined for wealth, as the sources suggest, well, it could certainly open you up to seeing possibilities you might otherwise miss. Maybe nudge things in your favor.
Right.
And even if someone's, still skeptical about the whole metaphysical side of it.
Which is understandable.
Yeah. This approach, at the very least, seems to replace feelings of, fear or doubt or hopelessness with hope and confidence. And that alone probably makes pursuing any goal, whether it's the lottery or something else, a much more positive and enjoyable journey.
Absolutely. And for the millions of people who actually practice these techniques, that shift in their internal state, their consciousness, well, for them, that is the magic. That's what they believe precedes the manifestation, the big win. It's the power of directed belief in action.
A fascinating perspective, shifting focus from external chance to internal power. Thank you for unpacking all that.
My pleasure. It's definitely thought-provoking material.
It really is. We hope everyone listening gained some new insights, maybe had a few aha moments along the way. I hope you have enjoyed today's episode of the Deep Seek Diaries. Please don't forget to check out all those linked resources down in the description section. And do hit the subscribe and like buttons as you head off if you haven't already. It really helps us keep these deep dives coming. Until the next episode, goodbye.